Hello and welcome back to part 3 of Prison Architect Beginner's Guide. A number of things that I'm looking at here. You'll see the shower is now complete, and once the game is completely loaded, it'll get all the water flowing down to that, and hopefully we will see it stop blinking. Or maybe not. One big thing that you need to keep in mind is that water will actually stop flowing if the pipelines are too large. So one thing to do to counteract that is to use large pipes. So we'll just use all 20 of these. Got 12 left, 8, 4, and 4. What that's going to do is to make it so that anything that I use that branches off of this main line is going to have a lot better chance of flowing out there. At some point, once we get this whole area taken up, then we're going to need multiple power stations, we're going to need multiple water pump stations, and of course we'll need a whole lot more workers and a whole lot more guards. Now in the last video where we left off was with the bureaucracy, and you can see that we've now got our foreman and our janitors completed, and we've also got the security. And the next important aspect is going to be the prison policy. What this does is lets you set up punishments for different offenses. So if, for instance, let's see, John Rennie, if this guy here decides that he wants to sneak drugs, or if he starts to bring out weapons, or if he goes up and shanks somebody in the shower, anything like that, you can actually choose the punishment for when he's caught doing those. Another really cool thing is that also you can choose to put him in solitary, and every single time you put any of these onto them, you solitary 24 hours, you click it at once, he's in it for 24 hours. Click it again, he's in there for 48 and 72, so on and so forth. I've actually gotten pretty angry at some of them, and I've put them in solitary for a week. Somehow they survive. Kind of uncanny. Now there's that part of it, and you can see the canteen is very, very, very dirty. So we're gonna put a janitor right there. Once he decides that he's gonna get whatever he's gonna get, apparently he's deemed it more important to clean the cell block first. Okay, whatever. Didn't want to see you going crazy anyway. So we'll check this again. Now you can see we've got this security researched, so that lets us get the security chief. I'm gonna go ahead and build him up here. I believe we should have enough. 6x6 and 6x6. Once the workers all decide that they're able to start working up there, then it's all gonna go together. That completes, and of course we need to separate it, so put a brick wall right there and then a staff door right there. We'll set up the office. And just as before, put the chair, filing cabinet, and the office desk. Oh yay, we have more prisoners. Now, what you're gonna see here, we only have 8 cells. We also have some naked guys there. Ooh. But we've now got these extra prisoners. We've got 16 out of 8. Up here at the top you can see where it says that. These guys will all be put into the holding cell until we can put them into their own cells. So we'll do what we did in the first video and come back to planning, and we'll just make this. So again, it's got to be 2 by 3, so every 4. Whoops. Alright, so and then of course take out the spots for the doors, and now we're good to go with that. We just need to set those up like that. Now everybody's gone back to their cells while they're still waiting in here. Apparently this guy is kind of tired. We should fire him. There's no time for rest in my prison. Now, until you're comfortable with how many prisoners you're going to be taking on, you can actually come into the prisoners tab. And if you click on either open or close, then you can choose whether or not to accept more prisoners. Now, you got to notice that it requires an entrance. A lot of different places you can put a door to get that done, but one very easy way to combat this is to demolish the wall and pray that prisoners don't see that opening in the few seconds that it takes. And there you go. So we just need to complete this. Now I'm actually gonna go all the way down here to the bottom. You notice that you cannot build on the very outskirts of this, and that does kind of drive me nuts, because if you build all the way down there, then your prisoners can still tunnel out and they can still escape from right there, and you can't even remove the tunnels. So you can't remove the tunnels if they're on that very point, so that is a bit of a problem. Still kind of toying with ways to address that, but you guys will see exactly what I'm going to be doing here once we get this all squared away. So, get back on track here. Put the beds in their spots. The toilets. Let's check on all of this up here. Oh, totally forgot about the security chief. So, put the chief up there in his little abode. Dump the goddamn light. And little happy-go-lucky here is going to be doing his own thing until other people decide they want to join him. And then notice it does get a little bit dark, and that's just because the lights have no power. One really good thing is that the power doesn't have to go all the way down. It will actually stretch quite a way, so probably only need to put it about right there. And then for all of the new toilets, put the pipelines down. And then last but not least, the jail cells. And now this is a situation where you can actually do this, and it makes life a little bit easier for you, so you don't have to do each and every single cell individually. So now everybody has their own room, and it seems like everybody's been fed. I think for now we're good to go on that, and then we're just going to keep on researching here. We'll put in prison labor, and then we'll get into psychology so we can see their needs. Next part of this is going to be contraband, so that our guards are a bit better at finding the different contraband. Now, another good thing, while they're in their yard, we're going to go over to their regime. Since it's going to be lockup, we'll actually just give them another hour of free time, let them think that things are good. You can actually click on a toilet or a bed, and then if you click search cell block, you'll notice that it searches the entire thing. For whatever reason, it's looking like it's not going to recognize the entire cell block. So if you go into deployment, then you can see where everybody is. Interesting. I've never actually had that happen before. So you've got that. There it goes. Just kind of glitched itself out. So we'll set it back to shared. Cell block. And then the guards are going to continue to search with the rest of those. I'll come back into bureaucracy, and psychologist has a little bit. Once we get to psychologist, we'll go over the needs a little more in depth. You can see what everybody needs in order to be happy, so that they don't riot and burn the entire prison down. And if you think I'm joking, being sarcastic with that, no, they will riot and they will burn your prison down. So I'm going to put the psychologist's office right here. Now, I'm actually going to make the psychologist accessible to all of the prisoners, because you can actually make it so that they can go into a reform program, which will hopefully lessen the chance that they'll offend again, that they will be better at not screwing up, so they don't go into lockdown, so they don't start riots, things of that nature. You need one psychologist per prisoner in order for that to work out, though, so it will take a long time and a lot of money if you want to go that route. Notice that we are $3,000 in debt, so if we were to let everybody go, then we'd be able to get more money. And you notice that things are just going to keep going this way and keep going this way. Well, that's what the grants are for. You come over to the grants, and you can get a free $30,000. At this very moment, I'm not too concerned about that, being that this is a beginner's guide, and we've got infinite money. So, we've got that all set up. Just waiting for the door. Oh, come on, install the door already. Okay. Office. Filing cabinet. Office desk. And chair. Now, when and if the psychologist ever manages to finish, we'll be able to put him in there, and then we'll be able to finish this up. Now, while we're waiting on that, when we've got the policy over here, so if you notice that we've got a whole bunch of different things. They find weapons, they're going to go into solitary. They find tools, they're going to go into lockdown. You can actually change this to none, lockdown, or solitary. So depending on how much of a hard ass you want to be, or if you want to be a little more lenient, you can actually change those respectively. Myself, I would kind of lessen drugs. You find tools, they're going to go for 3 hours. You find weapons, you're going to go to solitary for 5 hours. Intoxication, well, if you're going to be a drunkard, then you're going to go into solitary till you sober up. Serious injury, a lot of these things are pretty much set as they are. If they escape, I put them in solitary, and I let them know that they're not supposed to do that. Instant 24 hours if they try to escape. Destruction, I'm gonna set them to 4 hours for trying to destroy something. Although most of the time it's their bed or their toilet that they're destroying. So, whatever. And now, psychologist is complete. We'll put him in here. We've got him his nice own little room. And now for the needs. Now, it is pretty straightforward. Think about all the different things that you would need when if you are in prison, or if you have been in prison. So, you've got the bladder and the bowels. Everybody's got their own toilet, so they need a piss or shit, they're gonna go into their own cell. It's getting pretty late in the day, so they need to sleep. They just ate. They all feel very safe, which is good. Hygiene, they're gonna need to shower in the morning. They've got the yard for the exercise, and now the family and the recreation are gonna be the big things. So, in the next video, I'll quickly go over the recreation and the family, and we'll be able to see how that's going to be finishing out with the visitation rooms. That can be a little bit tricky because there are a lot of different things that come into play with that. In the recreation room, you basically put a common room, put some TVs and a sofa and a pool table in, there's their recreation. So far, so good. Everybody is seeming okay. We've got some addicts that need to be taught a lesson, so I'm gonna go ahead and get all of that set up in the next video, and we should be good to go. In the meantime, if there are any questions about the playthrough thus far, just leave them in the comments section. Send me a personal message, whatever you want to do, and I will do my best to get back with you. I hope you enjoyed the video so far. Thanks for watching, and you have a fun and a lot of your prison, if that made sense. Bye.